was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I can't believe that it happened last year. Honestly, I thought that my manager was playing a prank on me. But yeah, I got to play the Opry, and I swear that there are like ghosts in that building. By the way, I don't know. You know, I mean, they're friendly though, super friendly ghosts. But I never get nervous before shows anymore. And you know, I'm playing with Miranda, and we're playing in front of like 7,000-9,000 people a night. I never get nervous, but for some reason, walking out on that stage, knowing that I was going to do my debut for the Opry, I was so nervous. And you know, my first couple little notes out of my mouth were a little shaky, and then the rest of it was smooth sailing. I just had to kind of just psych myself out of it and just play my songs. A lot of times I kind of focus on one person's forehead for a little while. It's probably not a good thing to say. Josh Kelley coming to a forehead near you. Yeah, I really thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke, and it was great, man. The people who run it, they all came up and they were like, "You did a great job, man. We'd love to have you back." I'm sitting here going, "Let's do this." It's the whole, everything has been so organic in the process of this album, being made and then being marketed and then being released. Everything's just been so organic that I have to pinch myself every now and then, because it hasn't been that hard. There's been a lot of hard work, but it hasn't felt like we've had to sweat too hard, because I think that we just poured all of our energy into the music. We just made sure that out of the 80 songs I wrote for this record, we put 11 on there. We wanted to make sure that the 11 songs were believable, relatable, and that I related to them first, because the American public, or just the public in general, they can tell when you're faking it. And people are smart, man. So I wanted to make sure that I had an emotional attachment to these songs as well, and that's been paying off a lot. Full production, everything, man. I mean, we were working hard. Took me over 2 years to make this album. 2 years. I've been living off the same money that I made as an independent artist for a long time, and believe me, the other day I realized how low I've gotten in my bank account. It freaked me out, man. I was like, dude, like back in the college days or something. But that's kind of what it takes. You got to pour it all in, It takes you want a big reward, you better take that big risk, man. There are some that will pop up on another record. One in particular called "The Best of Me" will definitely pop up. I think that we were trying to, I mean, it's not a concept album, but there was a concept, and it was, it was the last 3 years of my life, the family, the move, my adopting a little baby girl. It was all, there was an idea behind it, and we wanted all the songs to be cohesive, and so that's kind of why these were picked. There were other songs that are going to be better for another album, and then what I do with the other ones too is I give them to my publisher and say, pitch these to other artists. So I have a song right now coming out that I really wanted to do, but my A&R didn't want me to do it. I love this song called Ferris Wheel, and Jason Jones cut it, and I heard his version the other day because it just came out as a single, and it sounds awesome. And it's just a very fun, kind of just lovable song, and hearing that, man, it makes me feel good too, because they're like your little kids, and they're actually getting to play, all these songs that didn't make the album. So some of them get cut, and some of them just kind of sit there for a long time. Yeah, a little bit. With writing in country, it feels more professional to me. I mean, look, there's a lot of country writers out there writing the biggest pop songs in the world right now. It's just so structured. It's like a real 9-to-5 job, and I've learned a lot. Writing this album made me a far better writer, by far. I'm telling you, I'm a better lyricist and better with changes too, And the only difference for me is that now what we're doing is we make sure we finish the song before we even think about turning on the Pro Tools and trying to figure out what the BPM is and putting a little drum beat up. We don't even do that anymore. If the song is not done and doesn't feel good just being played on either the piano or acoustic guitar, it never gets demoed. Because I think great songs can be great songs in any format, in any style, with a big production or a little production. If it doesn't feel like it can be great on its smallest level, then it's not worthy. And so that's what we've been good at, is like sussing out the crappy songs into good ones, and not finishing the crappy ones. Dang, that's a tough one. My mom, years and years ago. It's so funny that this is now just kind of resurfacing in my head, but she said, a long time ago, she said, son, just write songs that people can relate to, and you'll go really far. Just write relatable songs. And I didn't do that for a while. I wrote songs that I thought felt cool and were kind of edgy and did whatever, but now my main focus, it really is, it's all about relatability, you know? I mean, who's going to want to listen to this song and let it, and have it parallel their life? And so I think my mom's advice, old Gail Kelley, may have been the best so far. Who knows? My dad's probably going to get mad at that because he'll come up with something that he said that I forgot about. I wrote, Mike and Molly, #1 comedy in the country right now. In 2005 or 6 or something like that, my lawyer set me and Keb Mo up. It was weird. We had the same lawyer, and so me and Keb Mo, I went over to his house and we wrote this song called "I See Love," and next thing you know, man, he tells me it's going to be on his record. And then now, 2010, like 5 years later, he calls me up. He says, Chuck Lorre was at one of my shows, and Chuck came up to me and said, I really love the song "I See Love. I'd like to use it for my new show, Mike and Molly." And so Keb called me up later, and I was driving, and he said, dude, I think we just scored a theme song to a new Chuck Lorre show. And I said, are you kidding me? That would be, if it's even syndicated a third or just a quarter as much as 2.5 Men. You know, I told my girls, like, baby, we're gonna get that beach house. We are gonna get that beach house if the thing gets syndicated. I don't know, man. That's kind of a hard thing for that to be your goal. So it's kind of a, it's not a bizarre goal, because believe me, I've been going over my speech for the last 15 years. It's getting pretty good now too. But I don't know. I thought mainly my resolution years ago was to focus on the music and only think about music, and all the rest will come from there. I would be honored and would love to, have one of those in my possession. But I don't know if I would consider it a race or anything.